What's up,
Um,
man?
dude, so you got the robe going. How many robes do you have?
Um, about two robes.
Oh,
There's
sir,
the
it's alternating.
the summer and winter robe. It's
I,
seasonal.
I love it. How are you passing the time in quarantine? Is it all songwriting and
You
uh,
know,
working?
I mean, we've been doing some acoustic stuff and uh, trying to figure out the next wave of the album. But we we put out like the album in 2016, the same with television album. We did like a VR thing, and we hadn't really touched base in that world in a long time. But since we've been home and everyone seems to have been home, we kind of started exploring that space again, seeing if we could maybe take the motion picture show and bring it into like a digital world. So it's been
Yeah,
really kind of exciting to see what's been going on in that technology. It's changed so much in the past 2 years. So we
yeah, you
might
guys were really early on that.
we were kind of early, and I feel like a lot of things sometimes there's a lot of interest and it peaks, and then people kind of get disappointed that it hasn't caught on as much as they would have thought. But it's slowly kind of getting up there. And now I think, you know, a bit of a captive audience at home. I think it's a good time to try to innovate, see
Hmm.
how uh, see how we can like bring people together in spaces again, virtual or otherwise.
Yeah, I think one of the odd things about quarantine, like dare I say a positive. I don't like framing this in a positive,
Right.
because it's
Totally.
yeah. I don't want it to be in bad taste, but I feel like people are going out of their way to create um more like tighter virtual connections, whether it be FaceTime. Like I FaceTime my grandparents yesterday, or
Right.
people doing like the virtual happy hour. So it's really we're alone together,
Yeah.
which is a good social book, by the way. If you're looking for technology stuff, it's called Alone Together. That's a good book. But like we're all
Okay.
doing this together and we're all uniting. So I think
Yeah.
in
How'd it go
visual,
with your grandma? Was she okay with FaceTime? The technology was like facing the right way and
yeah.
didn't get dropped.
They're surprisingly pretty into it. Like they're always on Facebook sharing sometimes some pretty reckless memes. They've adjusted.
Oh, yikes.
Adjusted.
Yikes.
Oh, thank you for asking. Um, so original motion picture show part one is out.
Right.
Part two and three coming soon at
Hmm.
some. Um, what films inspire you the most, or what come to mind that get you going creatively?
There's a whole bunch of them. I feel like we were just talking the other day about some films that Aaron and I both were kind of studying in film school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but a lot of the ones you study sometimes, when you peek behind the curtain, it can ruin the magic of it a little bit. When you suspend your disbelief and then kind of kind of focus too much on it. But I don't know. There's not a specific movie. I feel like this particular album is very cross genre, and like it could be, if I would put the songs in movie terms, we've got everything from like the student film to like the summer blockbuster. As far as
I thought Summer
production.
Blockbuster was part two. I thought part two, because this is the Oscar one, right? And Summer Blockbuster is part
Part
two.
two is the blockbuster, I feel like, and then part three. I feel like maybe part one was the more indie film. I
Mhm.
think. I think part two is the blockbuster, and I say part three is maybe more the Oscar picture.
Ooh. Do you have a director that seems to always like speak to you? This is gonna be corny, but I always look to Wes Anderson. I just love the color
Yeah,
palette.
he's great, man. We feel like every time we have the ability to make a music video, we always start with a list of directors to reach out to that never get back to us. But I feel like every time we get a little bit closer, and this, because we've done some stuff with David Lynch, and that's a really big ask. But
Yeah.
we've started to hear back from Roman and Sofia Coppola. There's like some amazing Italian directors that we've been trying to work with. We'll throw out the email to Spielberg and Scorsese, but slowly but surely, that's who we want to be working with on these
Hmm.
videos. But it's tough.
Yeah, I just the way you guys handle the visual and the audio component, it does. Because I get it. I kind of think in those terms, like the big picture, and it leaves me speechless. Where I just stutter. It's so
Oh,
well executed. So good job on you guys for always keeping that top of mind.
oh, cool, man. Thank you. Yeah, just trying to figure out because the music, I feel like was done so quickly, so long ago that the full creative process and the stuff that kind of goes slower is the visual components of it and trying to create like the comprehensive story to the whole album and stuff like that. But it's really fun. It's just sometimes we dream bigger than we actually have the assets to do. But
yeah. Does that hinder the creative process? Like if you have a song and you have the visual so ingrained in your mind, or if you have like this visual concept, does it hinder the audio, the music?
the audio, no. I mean, I feel like that's one world where really anything is possible. I don't think like when I'm writing in the cabin, it's literally I have any instrument I need, digitally or whatever right next to me, and then it's pretty much no limits. Like this isn't just back in the day when I would have an acoustic guitar and a tape machine. Like this is you've got very few limits when you are in the digital realm, and then as you like start moving towards things that need a lot more people, like a film crew, or like hard cost of printer ink for this deluxe package you want to make, or the live show you want 30 million lasers and like all pyro all the time and explosions. Things start to get a little bit more challenging. But I think at First Ave when we did the motion picture show, that's a good example of like we have a limited amount of resources, but we're still going to try to make it feel like a stadium show with what we have. And we had to get very theatrical with it. It's like you have to be imaginative, just like in a movie when the monster is really scary because you don't really see it, you see bits and pieces of it, so you have to fill it in with your imagination, and it becomes actually scarier that way, rather than like a huge CGI production. So that's what we kind of lean on, that imaginative aspect of it to kind of make it work.
Two things. What scary movie like messed you up? Or any movie, or suspense, or a thriller. Like Signs is mine. That alien just haunted me for no reason. Yeah, nice. I couldn't sleep for days.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. You're like putting glasses of water around your house just in case you had to like. Yeah, aliens that their weakness is water. I love it.
Yeah.
Man, a lot. Trying to think of. I just watched in quarantine here, The Invisible Man, which wasn't like particularly horrifying, but it was really a nice kind of scary movie where the sound I felt like was just as important when you can't see it, and you just like they had these really great cuts of like just really intense sound every so often, or like a door shut would be way more intense than it should be, and it kind of you don't really think about it, but like your brain is like, ooh, it's just so jumpy. I thought that was pretty fun. But I can't think of like in quarantine where me and my girlfriend are watching mostly. I would say, like we definitely watched The Contagion and The Outbreaks and stuff like that. But like Tiger King and stuff that's kind of hilarious and a little more upbeat rather than just horror movie after horror movie. But we're running out of upbeat stuff, so I think we're going that direction soon.
Well, me and my fiance, we just ran through Scrubs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're not season 8. We don't do season 9. We pretend that doesn't exist. But
what happens in 9?
So they ended it in season 8, and then season 9 they like ABC re-upped it for like Scrubs Med School, and like the main cast fell away, and they introduced some new characters, and it's bad. Right. It's legacy. Don't acknowledge it. But if you need some upbeat stuff, Scrubs got you.
Okay.
Get through it.
We'll check that out.
And then you're mentioning First Avenue. Since it is, the 50th anniversary of First Avenue, what's like your favorite memory or story from the Black Box?
There's like a story I really want to say, but I don't think I should because we still play there. And like, when I was a kid, maybe we did some things that might have tested the ability to sneak into the venue.
Yeah. Don't say that one.
Yeah, I can't say those, but they're really good stories. They'll be in the tell-all on the next anniversary.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. Going back to like your scary story, it's the story that's not told that's most intriguing.
There's so many things that happened. I feel like when I was a teenager at First Ave that I probably shouldn't repeat. But I remember, when we were playing there now as adults and all that sort of jazz. When we played there, well, I'll tell a couple. First was the last time we played there. We there was this guy that works at the venue who was basically made his way to the front, and like he's a strong dude, and he just turns around and he's like, boom. I'm like, is this okay? And he's like, I went on his shoulders and he carried me through the crowd. Normally, because I go and I dance in the crowd and no one can kind of see anything. We're all dancing together and it becomes like a bit of a pit. And so with him, we kind of like, you know, cause First Ave has that kind of sunken pit and then you get to the back and have some stairs up. So we kind of like danced on top of there like it was like a super giant. Like, you know, when two kids get together to form an adult?
Yeah.
It kind of felt like we were two kids forming like a giant. So it was kind of a crazy like dance floor experience where it's just I'm the hands and he's the legs. So he's dancing and I'm like dancing. It was like we were larger than life, but that was really fun. You know, I guess also when we opened for Arctic Monkeys there, when first time we played First Ave was we were supporting them, and I remember during like the last song, I ripped my pants.
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean it was like small enough where I don't think anyone would ever have known, but big enough where the entire last song I'm thinking like, oh man, my first time in First Ave, and I'm just like completely crotchless right now. But
what a way to have it, to be honest.
Yeah. And then I remember also 7th Street Avenue, one of our friends, we used to play in a band with him, and was like made his way on stage, but he was really drunk and just nailed his head on the speaker. He was trying to get to the drums. That was pretty fun. But I mean, it's always like, it's fun whenever we play there because you're going through the crowd and it's dark and whatever, and all of a sudden it's like, oh hey, my teacher from 2nd grade, or oh hey, my distant cousin, or oh what's up, you know, like it's crazy. You kind of make your way through and you're like, oh yeah, okay, because normally, you know, it's like someone will grab you, but it's just because they want a selfie or something when you're dancing through the crowd. But sometimes, you know, Minneapolis at First Ave, it's like they grab you and you're like, oh right, that's right, okay, you're my sister.
That's a great segue to the final portion. We're gonna do a little Minnesota this or that. So I'm gonna give you a couple things, and you're gonna tell me which you prefer. Some of these are kind of obvious, but some of them might really get you going. So brace yourself for the highest quality journalism of your life.
Awesome.
Camp Snoopy or Nickelodeon Universe?
I never really experienced Nickelodeon Universe, so Camp Snoopy all the way.
Yeah.
But I mean, just probably from lack of experience. I'm sure Nickelodeon's great, but Camp Snoopy.
I would agree with you. The bias is there for Camp Snoopy, but I mean, it's Nickelodeon. It's like the IP you want. If it's not Camp Snoopy, I'm glad it's Nickelodeon. So
yeah.
Next time you're there, we'll ride the log flume and we'll do an interview on the log flume.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. How is that? They haven't like turned it into like GAC or slime log flume or something like Nickelodeon out?
They should slime flume it. I don't know why they haven't.
Maybe it's just make the water green, and then when you go down, you just get covered in slime. That sounds like a very Nickelodeon thing to do. I'm
not going to post this part of the interview because that's like $1 million idea. So
yeah.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, we'll keep that in the deal.
When you're driving to Mall of America, do you take Lindau Lane or Killebrew Drive?
I feel like it'd be from 494 to the 7. Is that right?
Then there's that. I've seen this debate on Twitter all the time. It's like, because like when you go from 494, then it splits to, you can either go Lindau or I'm a Lindau Lane guy, but then there's Killebrew that takes you another way. But I've never done the Killebrew way.
Where's the hotel with the water slide? That's, you know what I'm talking about? Everybody's driving. Okay, I think that's the way I would normally go then.
My dude. Good call.
Yeah. Nice.
Fargo the movie or Fargo the TV show?
Listen, I haven't seen the TV show. I'm sure it's fantastic, but I really don't know how you're going to be able to ever beat that movie. It's a work of art. It's incredible.
Does the accent, the Minnesotan accent, bother you, how overplayed it is, or do you kind of take pride in it?
Well, I mean, I think anyone in Minnesota might be bothered by it. Just keep this in mind. Like, everywhere you go, so I live in California now, everyone loves it. They think it's so charming. It's basically like if a British person comes and they're at the bar and like, oh, you're British? Let me buy you a drink. If you have a strong Minnesota accent, people are like, oh my God, this person's just so nice. Do you need anything? A shot of tequila, like whatever it is. So keep that in mind. If you feel like it's being kind of misrepresented, it only scores you points when you leave the tri-state area. It won't help you in North Dakota much, but you know, once you get out to like Portland or something like that, people are gonna buy you a drink.
That's genius. I love it. Tater tot hot dish or the Juicy Lucy?
Juicy Lucy,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Um,
Wait, what was the hot dish one though?
the tater tot hot dish.
Is that a specific restaurant?
No, it's the casserole.
Oh, but the Juicy Lucy is still specific to Matt's, right?
Well, I'm a 5'8" guy, but
Okay.
well, and then a lot of restaurants have parlayed it since. Everyone's got their Juicy Lucy
Yeah.
version. They're all great.
Well, also another tip: when if any Minnesotans want to beat the cold and come out to California, if you're in LA, there's like a Italian version where they have, and this is a very old place. You saw it in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Frank and Musso's in Hollywood, they have the cheese inside of the meatball.
Oh.
And the spaghetti. And every time I'm just like, this is like cross-pollination right here.
Our influence is felt.
Yeah, seriously.
Best fictional Minnesotan. There's 3 on this one. Marshall Erickson of How I Met Your Mother, Rose Nyland from The Golden Girls, or Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
Yeah.
1000%.
It's hard when you have your own folklore. Do you know Oregon tried to steal it from us?
If Paul Bunyan's that loved where the town will get together to make him one pancake and it takes him like a month to make it, like, come on. That guy's pretty special, dude.
Flawless. AJ, thank you so much for your time. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time you're in town, all right?
Okay, sounds good. Stay safe.
See ya.